The judge presiding over Donald Trump's hush money trial could determine today whether the former president violated his gag order. This as Trump received some good news in his civil fraud case. Good Day's Robert Moses. He is live outside the courthouse in Lower Manhattan to help us break it all down. Robert, good morning.
Tashani, good morning to you. Let's begin with the criminal case here. It resumes later on this morning. Prosecutors allege that the former president engaged in a criminal conspiracy. He claims he's innocent. At 9:30, Judge Juan Merchan will hold a hearing into whether former President Donald Trump violated his gag order, which prohibits statements about likely witnesses and jurors, among others. Prosecutors allege the former president has violated it repeatedly. On Truth Social, for instance, he called his longtime fixer Michael Cohen and porn star Stormy Daniels, quote, two sleazebags. And in an interview yesterday, the former president disparaged the jurors who will determine his fate.
That jury was picked so fast, 95% Democrats. The area is mostly all Democrat. You think of it as just a purely Democrat area. It's a very unfair situation.
If the gag order hearing is not finished by 11 a.m., it will continue at a later date. At 11, former National Enquirer publisher David Pecker returns to the stand for a second day of testimony. Yesterday, Pecker testified that he engaged in, quote, checkbook journalism. During the 2016 campaign, he bought the rights to a story from a doorman who alleged that Donald Trump fathered a child out of wedlock, which turned out not to be the case. He also bought the rights to the story of former Playboy model Karen McDougal, who alleged having an affair with the future president. But Pecker never ran those stories, a practice known as catch and kill. He alerted Cohen to a third story, that of Daniels, who also claimed to have had an affair. Cohen then paid her on his boss's behalf to stay quiet. Prosecutors allege that the former president falsified business records to hide the purpose of those hush money payments to Daniels from voters.
We did nothing wrong.
In a separate courtroom on Center Street yesterday, lawyers for New York State and the former president resolved their differences over a $175 million bond that he posted earlier this month while he appeals a $454+ million judgment for fraudulently inflating the value of his assets. That didn't keep the former president from attacking Judge Arthur Engoron.
He challenged the bonding company that maybe the bonding company was no good. Well, they're good, and they also have $175 million of collateral, my collateral.
Court will be in session until 2 o'clock this afternoon. It will be ending early for the Passover holiday. And then, again, there's no court on Wednesdays, so no court here tomorrow. The trial will resume on Thursday. We're live outside the criminal courthouse this morning. Tashani, back to you.
Robert, thank you.